Okay, today we're going to look at long division with polynomials, so you can kind of get an idea of what we're going to do in problems 1 and 2. But before we get to those actual problems, I just want to remind you of the process to do long division. And I'm going to do that with two numbers. So it's been a while, so I'll try to give you some notes and I'll try to work through this. So please highlight the notes as you're going through. It'll help you when we get down to the X's and the P's in problem number 1 and 2. So first off, with long division, you want to try to make the problem a little bit easier with just try to think of 4, and let's just take it into 31. So when we divide 4 into 31, what you're trying to say to yourself is what number times 4 will be close to 31? And that number would be a 7. So the first thing that we do is we divide, and then the second thing we do is multiply, and we put that right underneath the 31. Then you may or may not remember what we do next. So then we subtract. So when I try to subtract 31 minus 28, I will get a 3. This number should always be less than this number here. And then the process is to bring down the next number, and we get a 5, and we repeat that process. So now I'm looking at how many times does 4 go into 35, or 4 times what is close to 35. And if I go 8 times, that would be a 32. We subtract. We bring down, and we keep repeating this process until there's no other numbers. And you might recall in elementary school that we would continue this process maybe by putting 0.00. We'll stop and we'll write this number as a fraction, and this fraction, this will go in your numerator, and this will be in your denominator. So the final answer will be 789 3/4 would be the answer to what I'm calling A. And let me write down those steps that we did. Okay, so the first thing we do is we divide. The next thing we do is multiply. We subtract next. We bring down the next number, and then we repeat the process. So we're going to do that same thing with variables. It's going to look a little harder, but again, just kind of think of these 4-step process. So let's take 5 into 5. 5 into 5 goes 1 time. We subtract. We bring down. Oh, we didn't have this scenario in the first case. If 5 does not go into 1, we need to say it does not go in by putting a 0. Then we can bring down. 5 goes into 14 2 times, multiply, subtract, bring down. Is there a number that if I multiply it by 5, I'll get exactly 45? Yes, that is 9. 45, subtract. When I bring down, 5 does go into 9 1 time, subtract, bring down, we'll have a 9 again, 45. And again, how do I write my remainder? In elementary school we put a big R period and then our remainder. Here we're going to put this as a fraction. This is our numerator, and our denominator is always the divisor. So I'm going to pause and make sure you get all caught up. Obviously we can do that on the calculator, but when we get to variables, we're not going to be able to use the calculator for that.